Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Be Saints Awakened. I'm Cecilia Watson. I'm here with Andrew Birkin, and if you were asking me, I would say that today's guest is kind of mediocre. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking, you guys. I actually have been really looking forward to this episode, because why not? Today's guest is one of our hosts, Andrew Birkin. Yay!
Yay!
That's where we have the soundboard sound effects come in, and it's like the.
No, we can't use the soundboard yet.
Clapping. Yeah, we do have a soundboard.
Wait. We'll get to that in the announcements later.
Sorry, I don't want to spoil anything.
We have announcements, but we'll save those for the end of this episode.
At the end of the episode, so that way you're waiting in anticipation. You're like, what are they going to announce? So you have to listen to the entire episode.
Yeah, we've got a slew of things. Anyways, I'm not really a guest. However, I said this on Bud's episode, which I think was the previous episode. I'm not real sure.
Mm-mm.
We had a bunch.
President.
Mr. Prez came out. If you haven't listened to that one, go listen. But I did say on Bud's episode that I would be doing my episode at the end of this semester. This is the final episode of the semester, which is also episode 30. Yay! Get hype. 30 episodes is crazy.
30 episodes is crazy.
Question. Did you think that we were going to make 30 episodes? Go.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought we were going to finish the semester for sure. Like I thought we were going to finish the school year. But I didn't necessarily think that we would hit 30 episodes. But that's like...
Pog
jump. But anyways, so yeah, Andrew is I'm going to call him our guest because why not? Andrew is our guest for today. And he's going to be talking about the beautiful virtue of forgiveness, which I think is pretty cool because like he also mentioned a second ago, we had an episode recently with a previous guest, Bud. Shout out Bud. He came and talked about mercy. So we talked a lot about forgiveness in Bud's episode, but now Andrew is going to give us more of an in-depth what he thinks, what he knows, what he feels about forgiveness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we've been talking about this episode all semester because I had my episode as the person being interviewed as the guest. The beginning of the semester, it was the second episode.
School year.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The
Last
beginning
semester.
of the school year.
Season 1. We're in season 2 now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But, what?
Nothing.
Yeah, and I was the second episode, and I did it on humility. And I was like, okay, well, when are you going to do yours? And he just has been wanting to wait to the last one. So we're finally here, and I'm very excited. Anyway, this introduction's been really long. So, Andrew, why you've had this topic picked for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you so adamant about talking about forgiveness?
Do you know the answer to this? Or have we not?
You've mentioned it before, but obviously,
I was going to answer it anyways. So forgiveness, I've had to forgive a lot of people in my life, and it's a pretty difficult thing for me to do because I am by nature like
prideful.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
And I don't like to have to forgive people because I don't want to be seen as soft and, anyways, doesn't matter. Right before we started this podcast, there was a lot going on in my life, actually like the last 2 years. And I had to forgive a lot of people who really hurt me or backstabbed me. A lot of people which I don't talk to anymore. Some who it took a while, but I'm okay with now. Some who were even my best friends. And there was just a lot happening. I had to learn to forgive myself as well. And that was really tough. So I don't know. I was stuck having to face something that I didn't really want to have to face. Like I was like, I don't want to forgive these people. I want to be salty. I want to be angry at them. I want them to know that they hurt me. I don't want them to have my forgiveness. They haven't done anything to earn it. But I had to. And I came around eventually. So, yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Not much, but just a little. Just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough.
So I think that that's great that you, when you were deciding what you wanted to talk about, you wanted to talk about, which I appreciated that Bud did this too. He wanted to talk about something that he didn't know that much about when it came to mercy, which I thought that was really cool. It was a really good way for him to learn about something. Same thing for Daniel. I'm pretty sure he had said that about reverence.
Yeah.
When he came and talked about reverence. Like, he didn't know much about it, so it was a good opportunity for him to learn. You picked forgiveness. It's something that doesn't come to you naturally.
Okay,
something
bro.
that
Not,
you just
well, it does now.
That's great, Andrew. But I think that even over the last several months, and even our time of friendship, getting to watch you grow in that has been really cool. Because because I got to witness, I mean, not all of it, but I got to witness some of the backstabbing that you went through.
Yes.
And I got to see you go through some of that. And I would say that the way that you carried yourself throughout that time was very inspiring as someone who had gone through very similar situations at some point in their life. And I thought that it was, I think overall, how I would say, it was just fair. Like, you were salty, which is fair, but then you forgave them, which is what is just, what you should have done. But anyways, back to the topic. Why, you said that you didn't want to forgive these people. Why did you forgive them then? It's so much easier to hold a grudge and to be salty, especially when people have done things that would rightfully so hurt you.
So, okay.
Why forgive?
I didn't want to forgive them because of the things that they did. And this is not the appropriate episode for that. Spoiler alert in the announcements later. We'll get back to this. But I didn't want to forgive them because I wanted them to know how bad they hurt me. And I wanted to come off as like the bad guy, like, oh, you poked the bear, don't mess with me, this kind of thing. No, like, and it was not just one person. It wasn't two. It was, I could go back and count, but it was 7 or more. And they were all my best friends, like all closest friends. I don't talk to any of them anymore. And I really wanted them to know how angry I was.
Right.
And that was my way of getting back, because I was not going to go out of my way and do anything like physical or hurt them back mentally. But I just, not forgiving them and not speaking to them in my mind was going to hurt them a lot more than it actually hurt me. And so turn around after, let's see, this would have been the first time after I ended up forgiving them. We remember Catherine Parody, we had her on. She helped me through a lot of that. She helped me get through a lot of my depression because of the things that these people had done and whatnot. And she helped me to forgive these people. She was like, look, what would Jesus do, right? He wouldn't hold this against them. He would forgive them. He would give them another chance. So that's what I did. And I got closer with these people again. And then exact same thing happened once again. And all of them once again. And so then, which was just last summer, then I got really upset and really angry. And I didn't want anything to do with them. It was the same thing again. I wasn't going to forgive them. But this time it was hurting me more than them, I felt like. And so to answer the question, why did I forgive them? It wasn't necessarily for them. It was more so for me and my peace.
Right.
They didn't need my forgiveness. They knew the things that they'd done, and some of them felt sorry. I know a couple of them really did because they reached out to me. Actually, funnily enough, all of them reached out to me except for one and apologized. But a couple of them really like called me and gave me heartfelt apologies way after I forgave them. I forgave them because it brought me peace. And that's what I needed, because I was so angry with them, and I was even more angry at myself, that forgiving them seemed to be the only option.
Yeah. Why would you say it's important to forgive in general? And what would you say about the fact that, like, expand on the fact that by you not forgiving them, it hurt you more than it hurt them? Like, what does that have to say about how important forgiveness is?
So not forgiving them was keeping that anger inside me, and it was just eating me up inside, and it was recurring, and it was just constant 24 hours in a day. It was there every hour. And I would get more angry and more angry and more angry with these people. And they weren't even in my life anymore. 2 months later, I was still really, really angry at these people because I hadn't forgiven them. And why is it important to forgive them for yourself? They didn't need it. They will get what is just, when that time comes. They don't need my forgiveness. I needed to say, hey, you're forgiven. Because without it, I probably still would just be very, very angry at all of these people. It brought me more peace knowing that I forgave them, and I was able to let go of what they had done to me, and I was able to move on, than it did any of them. Like, I'm sure they don't care. What each of these people did was very small, but it was the fact that they all did it at the same time together. It was all the same thing, So it didn't affect any of them as much as it affected me, right?
Right.
Because there was 8 people all doing the exact same thing to me. Well, it was only little inconvenience for each person. But on my standpoint, I was being dealt the whole thing.
All at once.
It was rough. Right. So they also didn't really think necessarily that they needed my forgiveness. What was the other part of your question?
I just asked, like, what do you think? Hold on, how did I word it? Why do you think forgiveness is so important to the fact that, like, it affected you more? Like, what does that have to say about how important forgiveness is, that the fact that you not forgiving them affected you more?
Yeah.
Like, because it does. If you don't, like, the lack of forgiveness makes you a very angry person. Yeah. And then
I'm not near as angry as I was, right? What did you say?
Yeah, no, you're not. But, no, it does. It makes you a very angry person. And that brings me, while you were talking, I thought of several things. One was Hebrews, when it says, harden not your hearts. Another thing that I thought of while you were talking was, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Which I think that sentence itself has gotten me through so much hate, I guess I would say. Just that sentence itself, hearing those words, and that was brought to me in prayer when I was trying my hardest to forgive someone who I thought didn't deserve it. And I was in a very similar situation of just, like, every day living in constant anger and hatred towards people who had hurt me, who didn't seem to notice that they had hurt me, who didn't understand the depth of, like, what they had done. And that had come to me in prayer one day, and I was so angry about it because I was like, he's so right. Like, even what you were talking about earlier when we first started
you got it. Take your time.
I think you're going to need to take a deep breath. when we had first opened the episode and you were talking about they hadn't done anything to earn your forgiveness, I immediately thought of the fact that neither have we. Neither have we done anything to earn God's forgiveness. In fact, we used our own 2 hands to nail him to a cross. That does not deserve any kind of forgiveness whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I mean, imagine, you even admitted that the things that they had done were small. Imagine if those same people that you loved so dearly had propped you up on a cross and nailed you to it. You would not want to forgive them, would you? And yet, we did that exact same thing to Jesus, and his response was, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." And I just was thinking of that because that's so crazy, and it makes our problems seem so small, which they're not made to be degraded. The things that we feel are valid, but it's also a reminder that everything that comes our way is an invitation to carry that cross with Christ. So the forgiveness and the hatred the hatred and anger that you were feeling was just God's extended arm out towards you saying, carry this cross with me and I'll show you what happens at the end when he forgives everyone from it.
"30 episodes later, when did you get so wise?"
I've been this wise. When did you just open your ears?
Okay.
Did it take you 30 episodes?
No, I'm
joking. Please cut that part out. That was very prideful of me sounding. I didn't mean
leaving it in, actually. That was very well said.
Thank you. That wasn't me.
Okay. I would say just kind of going off of what you said, for me, I didn't really have a relationship with God at that point.
Mm-hmm.
All I cared about was revenge, and that was the best way for me to get it. Right? And it wasn't until I don't even know when it would have been. Even after we started this, probably October sometime. I think it was in October, actually. You remember that I was finally able to come to the realization that I needed to be better than all of these people. Mm-hmm. And I needed to be more Christ-like and loving to them, because that was October. I'd gotten more information that I hadn't before. And I'd realized that I'd been so misunderstanding towards these people, not to justify the things that they did to me, but to understand where they were coming from a little bit more. I got some more information and I recognized what was happening, and I was able to feel sorry for them all and forgive them. And I said a rosary for each of them because I wanted God to forgive them as well. And I know he has, but some of us are a little more lost than others, and that makes me sad. So no, they didn't need my forgiveness, but I'm glad that they got it, regardless if they know it or not, because I needed them to have it.
Right.
Because I was able to look at them more lovingly and realize they are people too. They are humans too. And we all, especially them, they're not bad people at all.
No.
They are all striving for God. They're all striving for holiness, right? Some of us, some of them, not even some of them, just people in general. We're all on different paths. We're all on different, not our own time, but God's time. And that looks different for everybody.
Absolutely.
So some people have to go through a bit more before they can get to where, anyone else is. And I had to really recognize that. And I was able to, through forgiveness, through forgiving these people, Again, they didn't need it. I needed it so that I could love them better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that now I'm able to appreciate the friendships that I had, and I'm able to love those people more now without them in my life, which that sounds kind of mean, but they were not my people.
Yeah.
They were not good people for me. They are good people. They were not good people for me. And I'm able to look at them and love them now even more and even better than before.
Right.
Because I could forgive them.
Yeah. Which, once again, another thing is that it's like, and in my own experiences, I found it more difficult because I just wanted the people around me to know that they had hurt me. Like, I wanted the people around me to know the weight, like the consequences of their actions and the way that it was going to affect me, because I thought that it was unfair that they could do what they did and then just leave and act like everything was fine. But then again, you have to think of everything in a bigger picture. You have to flip everything as to, okay, well, I'm holding a grudge for this thing that somebody did to me. What if you went to confession one day and God was like, I don't know about this one, Cecilia. Like, I could forgive you, but that one kind of stung a little bit. Like, what if he did that to us? He could. He has every right to. Dang, he has every right to. But he doesn't. Because his love is so perfect. And not that ours is, but that is a love and a perfection that we should constantly be striving for. And that was something that, it was a hard pill to swallow. But it was swallowed eventually. So if you find yourself in a situation, and this is for everybody, not just you, just because you're sitting right across from me, but if you ever find yourself in a situation of like, why should I forgive this person? Whether it's something really big, whether it's something really small, I would say that flip it. Think in a bigger picture. Think of Christ's passion and death.
Yeah, totally.
And also, let's go back to sometimes the hardest thing to do is forgive yourself.
Oh, yes. I had several points I wanted to make on this.
Go for it.
But I've forgotten. So I'll just say what comes to mind now.
Too much, sorry.
No, I remember when I wanted to do this episode way back when, all of the points that I wanted to make.
Go for it.
But I've since forgotten them, is what I'm saying.
Oh!
We talked a bit about it on Bud's episode. I think. Yeah, we did. And just to kind of reiterate all of that, yes, you have to forgive yourself in order to forgive others. I've done so much that I'm not proud of. I had to forgive myself for being so angry at these people before I was able to forgive them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have actually forgiven them. Right? Because if I'm forgiving so-and-so because they did whatever to me, but I'm still angry at them, I'm not really forgiving them. Right? I have to not be angry at them first. So I had to forgive myself for that anger. I had to let go of that anger before I could forgive them. It's the same concept as love your neighbor as yourself. We talked all about that in an episode that didn't end up making it. I would like to get back to that episode, but we will talk about that some other time. We'll talk about that at the end of with the other announcements. Anyway, you have to love yourself before you can be expected to love your neighbor, right?
Right. You can't give what you don't have.
You can't give what you don't have. So I have to, not just me, but we all have to forgive ourselves for our shortcomings and our faults and our sins and our fails. Whatever it is that we do, nobody is perfect. You have to realize that first. Nobody is perfect. We're all far from it. We can only get perfect, achieve perfection through Christ. And even that can't be achieved here on earth.
Correct.
We have to be sent somewhere before we can get to heaven to become perfect, to be made perfect. That's because of the stain we have on our souls of sin, right? So yeah, you have to forgive yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has done something that they're not proud of. But if you're not forgiving yourself, it's that same, like I said earlier, it's just in your brain. It's just in your mind, and it stays there and it stays there, and you beat yourself up about it, and it's harmful to your soul. It's harmful to your mentality. It's harmful to your relationships on earth, but even more to your relationship with God. Right? Because God's looking at you like, I've forgiven you. Why can't you forgive yourself? Especially if you've already gone to confession over some things. God's already forgiven you very obviously, right? You said your penance, great. Why can't you forgive yourself? That in itself is a sin too.
Right, it is.
You have to forgive yourself, especially if you're expected to forgive others. But not forgiving yourself, I'll reiterate, is very damaging to your brain and to you as a person, because you're just putting your faults up front and you're keeping them in your brain. And us humans, we tend to focus more on things that have gone wrong than those that have gone right. Well, we need to switch that perspective, and we can. We all have that ability, right? Focus more on the good things that you do. And when you fall short, say, okay, you know what? I sinned. It's okay. I'll get up. I'll forgive myself. I'll go to confession. God will forgive me, and I'll do better tomorrow. Right? Switch the mentality. Don't go to confession and be like, oh man, I still really regret doing this. Yeah, I mean, okay, you can regret doing it. That doesn't mean that
you can't change.
You can't change it, right? I mean, I went and got hammered the other night. It's really eating me up because of all the things that I did, and I don't even remember it. Well, guess what? You live and you learn. Move on. Don't do it again.
Right.
Obviously, Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say.
Yeah. And something that I'm an imagery person. I have to imagine things and put things and whatever. Don't matter, don't care. But something that brought me so much comfort, because you can ask Andrew, I am terrible at showing myself any kind of forgiveness or mercy. I'm the worst at it. And that's something that I've actively been working on for years now. And it's probably something that I'll have to work on for a long time, which is okay. God will give me the graces to be better at it, But one thing that I heard in the thick of me really, really struggling to forgive myself, I was told by a person that they were like, so you understand that when you sin and you're beating yourself up, God is looking down at you and he sees a baby. Like, we are children. We are God's children. We are children in his eyes. And just like when a baby is trying to take its first steps and it falls and it might knock something down or it bonks its head.
Bonk.
Exactly. Does the parent go, oh my gosh, you're so stupid. Like, how could you do that? How dare you do that?
I probably would as a dad.
Okay, you should not be a father.
Anyways.
But do you think that God looks down from heaven and he goes, how could you do that? How dare you do that? No, like a parent would with a baby, they go, oh, it's okay. And they pick them back up. We are God's children. We are infants in his eyes. Babies and children and infants, they make mistakes. And that's okay. What's more important is that we should know that we have a father who goes, it's okay. I love you. And who picks us up after. And he'll never not do that. As long as you're truly sorry for the things that you've done, he will never not do that. But that was something that brought me so much peace. And I was like, how silly am I for having such a hard time forgiving myself when every time that I would fall into sin, God looked down at me from heaven and saw an infant and saw a baby who needed him, who relied on him. It's like, here I am going, oh, like beating myself up about it, convincing myself I'm the worst person to walk the earth. And Jesus is like holding me in his arms, telling me everything's going to be okay and that he forgives me and that he loves me regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So how dumb is that? And also, one thing that took me way too long.
It's not dumb.
Sorry.
Some people are on a different
Right, you're right. Here I am.
pace.
Look, calling myself
Some
dumb.
people are on a different pace than others. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody can be as great as me, but we'll leave that alone. Anyway, what were you saying?
Okay. Another thing
Humility, son. Oh, I can hear Kayla right now. You said some of that on Miss Aaron's episode, huh? I believe, or Mr. Blaine's.
I did talk about the struggles of forgiving yourself in Bud's episode, just because we were talking about mercy, so it was relevant. But that was one thing that early on, and like when Andrew and I were starting to get really close, he had brought something to me, and I remember this was like our first heated discussion about something, and he.
Wait. Okay.
And he had come to me and he was trying to tell me something along the lines of he wasn't a good person for something.
Oh, and facts. I remember this.
I got in his face and I was like, how dare you call God's creation not good? Because in fact, he made you and he said that it was very good. So how dare you look at yourself and say that it's not good, that you're not good, that you've done something wrong, and so you're not good. Big whoop. We all have. So does that mean that we're all not good? No.
Well,
we're wonderfully and beautifully made.
Yes.
Do we have the stain of original sin on our soul?
Thank you.
Also, yes.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay,
whose episode is this again?
Okay, you're right. I'm
no. It's all good.
No, I'm insecure. Go ahead.
I don't have anything else to say.
Cowboy, take me away.
Back down to earth. I don't have anything else to say on this, really. Do you have any other questions for me? I knew this was going to be kind of quick because we've touched on it so much in the last 30 episodes, by the way. 30 is insane.
I would say any last notes or any words of wisdom to those who are either struggling to forgive someone or struggling to forgive themselves. What would you say to them?
So if you're struggling, I'll go in order, I guess. If you're struggling to forgive yourself, just know that how much pain you're causing yourself and others around you who you can't forgive while you haven't forgiven yourself, and God, how much you're hurting God. He, like Cecilia and I have been saying, he loves you, right? And he forgives you, but he needs you to forgive you as well. Because if you don't, you're just hurting yourself and you're putting yourself in a position to be angry with yourself and with the world and with God, depressed, anxious, and just overall unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have to forgive yourself. And yeah, that takes time. Everybody makes mistakes. You do something, you're probably not going to be able to forgive yourself for a little bit. But don't let it eat you up. Struggling to forgive others, you don't know what other people are going through. This could be your best friend who absolutely stabs you in the back. You cannot know everything that they're going through, every thought that they're having. They see things differently from you. Yeah, they're living life for the first time as well, but they're living a different life from you. You don't know what they're going through. They may need your forgiveness. Mm-hmm. They also may not. They also might not care that they did the things that they did to you. Well, maybe you need to forgive them for yourself. Mm-hmm. That will bring you a lot of peace. And you can move on and you can live your life and be happy. Yeah, I would say pray for forgiveness, pray for strength.
Pray for the people who you need to forgive. Always.
I still pray for them. Mm-hmm. Anytime they come into my mind, maybe you'll say a quick Our Father or something to be like, God, protect them in this moment. They're on my mind for a reason. Mm-hmm. Right?
The Our Father is a great prayer.
Yep.
To pray when it comes to forgiveness.
Yep.
Anyways,
go ahead with the announcements.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for talking about forgiveness.
Of course. It's my
Appreciate
pleasure.
It.
Anytime.
I like learning from you.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I told you I was prideful. I'm working on it. Humility, son. I can hear her right now.
That's probably God. Using your mother's voice, as he often does, for me at least. He uses my mother's voice. Announcements.
This is the final episode of the semester. Yay! 30 episodes.
PogChamp.
Yay, PogChamp. Do you have something?
Yeah. This season 2 has been fun. We're gonna have some things planned for the summer, though.
Yay! You thought we were gone, but we're not.
Yeah. Psych. Andrew, if you want to touch on some of the things we're doing over the summer, just so our loyal and loving fans don't go crazy. You're like, where'd they go? Oh my gosh, I miss them so much.
Right. So the next episode we'll start season 3, and that'll run from the summer, probably either at the end of May, beginning of June, and that will run until December, Christmas time.
Yay!
And the summer will not have weekly episodes, but probably bi-weekly or every 3 weeks, something. I think we have 6 or 7 episodes for the summer, with some really cool people. One of which we will be recording in the great state of Florida, which will be fun. Because that's Cecilia spending some of her summer there.
Yes, I'm going to focus a summer training, not as a missionary, but as a nanny. I'm going and I'm nannying for Luke and Emily, who are both guests.
Who will both be back.
Yes, who are both coming back next year. So thank God. And I'm going to nanny for their little boy, Augie, which I know they both talked about him, and he's precious and an angel, and I'm so excited to get to take care of him in Florida.
Right. So she's going to be in Florida, and like she said, it's Focus's summer training. So we're going to go and we're going to record with someone particularly special in Florida. Not going to say who. Hopefully, this is not yet 100% confirmed. We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated, but it should most likely happen. I don't know why it wouldn't. Anyway,
Facts.
I'm really excited for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to fly to Florida with all the equipment.
Yay! Let's hope it doesn't break or get lost.
Right?
Prayers.
That would be tough.
Prayers would be great.
So, yeah. And then in the fall, we'll be back with every week. I've already started looking at who we want to have on. We've got some great people. I don't know if we want to spoil any of it.
I would say wait.
Okay, so I can't tell them about The Exorcist. Oh, my mistake. Anyways, I guess we'll wait. So yeah,
you're just such a diva.
We've got a lot going on. And it'll be bueno. It'll be fun. We've got some returning guests.
He's bilingual.
Returning guests and some new guests, obviously. And she and I are both going to give, at some point, we're going to give episodes on our lives, more in depth of who we are, where we came from, just kind of all about us. This isn't for you. This is more so for us, so that in 50 years' time, we go back and look and be like, yeah, But those will be closer to the end of the show. And that'll be good. Like I said, there was an episode that we had to scrap over Christmas break, I think it was, which was a shame because it was a long episode and it was really, really, really good.
It was.
But I want to have those two people back on together to do it again because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think that we can make it work. Also, we've got some new equipment that we've purchased that we're going to try to start using. Shout out to the Can I Get an Amen podcast. We had them on our podcast. We had them on our podcast. We were also on theirs.
Yep, that's correct.
And they send us some stuff to buy. And so we have some new equipment that we're going to start using. That'll be fun. Hopefully we'll have a new place to record as well.
Yes, we have a lot of new things, and we just have to pray that it all works.
Yes. So yeah, this summer we're going to kind of crack down, and when she gets back from Florida, kind of get everything set up and ready to go to start strong in the fall. But we will have 6 or 7-ish episodes throughout the summer with some good people.
Just so that you guys don't get bored,
Right? Got to keep you around.
Right.
We don't want you to listen to another podcast. Right. Joe Rogan. Anyways, they wouldn't do that.
No.
Would you, Mom? You wouldn't go listen to their fitness podcast, would you, Mom? Anyways.
She's gonna get you.
Yeah. That's all.
That is all for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Andrew, for chatting with us about forgiveness.
Of course.
I've learned some things.
Good.
I love learning.
Great. Okay. I'm going to close off in an Our Father now.
Yes, you are.
And we'll be done. And we will see you guys
around.
Probably in June.
Yeah.
All right. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.